It is the 6th of December. Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Oh boy, Bezrat Hashem.
Lou, you got a note from Rabbi Baum?
He asked me for your phone, your address, and I gave it to him.
But you found out no class.
There's no class today.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like we have a typo over here in this last paragraph on page 153. I don't know what this is well known is doing over here.
Yeah, that is kind of funny, isn't it?
What is well known? Looks like there was a sentence that was deleted.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Oh, the last line, yeah.
Maybe Eliezer, maybe in your Hebrew version you have it.
Yeah.
Well, we left off with Yoetz Tzarich to Tizaher Ha'isha Hadotelasi Pernecha to Taharasah. We didn't. That's the next part of the Hebrew as far as we had gotten yesterday.
Correct. Yeah.
It's
Right.
like the last sentence isn't right.
And yeah. Oh, so okay. So that's yeah. Looks like they're just those words can just be they're not connected to a sentence that we have that you don't have. You have everything that we have.
So I have a question on yesterday's topic of discussion, which was if a woman walks over your severed fingernails and she's pregnant, then she might miscarry.
Yeah, I heard that also.
So how do you react to that, Rabbi? I mean, to me, it's counter to my upbringing.
Well, if I was a pregnant woman, I would stay away from them. That's what I would do.
So
that's what it says in the Gemara.
You don't,
so
I would not find that objectionable. The fact that it seems like it's counter to science.
Objectionable? Why is it objectionable? That's what the Gemara says.
Because
science can't explain why it should be like that.
A woman
I don't find that.
Over your fingernail
I'm not bothered by that.
Is not going to miss.
I'm not bothered by the fact that science can't explain why that should be. The Gemara says that it is.
Okay, so you just accept it.
If you want, we could look in the Meforshim and see what they have to say. Maybe there'll be something that would be they will explain it to make it sound more rational. But even if it would not be rational, it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay.
Is Ruchnius rational?
Lou, how is it any different than not? How is it any different than not wearing shotness? You're told not to wear.
Not wearing shotness doesn't say if you wear shotness your nose is gonna fall off.
No, but you're gonna get malchus. There's all sorts of penalties for doing it.
Yeah, why should it be
irrational about? There's nothing irrational about shotness.
Why
is it? Why? Because Hashem said so, right?
We don't wear shotness. There's reasons why we don't wear shotness. Shotness is
it's only one. It's only because Hashem told us not to. But it's not something you would logically derive. Okay. You can't logically derive shotness. Hashem said don't do it, so we don't do it. There's no logic behind it.
I disagree with you. I think there is logic behind it, but that's not the point. The point is it's nothing like a superstition that says if you walk over fingernails, you're going to miscarry. That's a superstition. That's not
That's
rational.
excuse me,
But
Lou.
Lou,
Hey, Lou, excuse me. That is what I would call a goyish cup. And I'll explain what I mean.
Okay, go ahead.
Chas v'sholom, to compare what the goyim say about a black cat walking in front of you and Friday the 13th, chas v'sholom, to compare that to what the Gemara says. You're right. That's stupidity. But the Gemara doesn't say stupidity. Nothing in the Gemara is superstitious. There's no such thing. If it says it in the Gemara, there's something to it. We can't understand what it is. We don't right know what it is. Okay. Does that mean that it's stupid? That it's superstitious? That it's comparable to what the Goyim do? Chas v'sholom. Excuse my religious fervor, but I think it's not a comparison whatsoever to call it superstitious. That I have to register a protest on.
Well, all I can say to you is, if a woman who's pregnant walks over cut fingernails, she's not going to get she's not going to miscarry. That's just the fact. That's just the truth.
how do you know that, Lou? It obviously happened in the past, which is why the Gemara talks about it.
Why would the Gemara say it?
Right. The Gemara
What's
says
the Gemara
because
saying it for?
happened.
What's the Gemara saying it for?
I don't know.
So
That's what's
my-
troubling me.
The Gemara has it because it's a Maisha Shahaya. It happened, and therefore they warn people not to do it. Now, it may not happen every time, but it becomes a makam sakana you have to avoid.
Okay, so let's see. Let's take a look. We got a hot topic over here now. We have a hot topic. Let's see, in other words, if we look into the Meforshim on this subject, and let's see if somebody says, you know what, today we don't see this at all. It must be that maybe in the time of the Gemara, it was an issue. And, there were different issues that were in the Gemara. Gemara says that a Talmud Chacham shouldn't go out at night unescorted because of the mazikim. They're going to come and harm him. What about today? What about today? Well, generally a Talmud Chacham does have people to escort him because everybody wants to ask him a question. But barring that, are we worried about mazikin today?
No.
Okay, so I'm not sure that that's correct. This is a subject that we'd have to find out about also. Just comparing it to this situation that we have over here. In other words, is there things in the Gemara that we say don't apply to us today? Are there things like that? This is so this is here's a possibility. Here's a possibility. But before I would say that is what it is over here, I would not pronounce on my own, oh, that's X, Y, and Z. There's nothing to worry about over here. I would take a look and see what the commentaries have to say about this Gemara. So let's take a look and see what they say about this Gemara. This is a Gemara, we had it yesterday, 17a in Nida. If anybody has a Gemara, and perhaps we'll take a look and see if there's a citation in the Shulchan Aruch or in the Rambam to this Gemara. Oh. Mhm. Mm. Ton Rabbanan. It's the first. It's the end of the first wide line on the Amud. Ton Rabbanan Gimel Devorim Nemru B'Tzipornayin. There were three things said about Tzipornayin.
Yeah, you have to go a little bit above that, Rabbi. A couple sentences above that is where it talks about the
Okay,
women.
right.
V'hano tail is the first word.
Okay, now this is all based upon. Okay, Vanotel Tziporno V'Zorik L'Rishus Rabbi. Now, who said that? That's what Rav Shim Bar Yochai said. Hamisha Dvorim Hein Sha'osa Osan Mischayev B'Nafsho. There's 5 things that a person does. 5 things that he does that he's playing with fire over there. He should not do it. It's a serious matter.
Wow, Chayav Misa.
Yeah, he doesn't mean Mrs. Besdin, but he means, yeah. Okay. So this is the source of this din. The source of the din is that's what Rav Shimon Bar Yochai says.
Right.
No porno of Zarkan l'Rishus Rabin. Somebody that does that is Mischayev B'Nafsho. So the Gemara wants to explain this statement of Rav Shimon Bar Yochai. What's the story over here? Why is someone who does that Mischayev B'Nafsho? What's the reason for that? So the Gemara says Mipnei She'isha Muberes Overes Alehen Umapeles. Okay. So in other words, we want to know is what's the reason that she's Mapelis? How does that work? So doesn't seem to be any Rashi on the subject, nor does there seem to be any Tosus on this subject. Okay, so I do have a note over here on this. They bring from other Rishonim. Hatam Shemapelis Chosvu Aran in Moed Katan. There's a companion Gemara in Moed Katan that discusses this as well. Moed Katan Yod Ches. And both the Ran and the Milki Yosef say Mishum Mius or Mishum Keshafim. So they both say that it has something to do with Kishuf.
Kishuv is magic?
Kishuf is a koach in the world. That admittedly it doesn't we're not too familiar with it. We don't have any connection to it. But in the times of Mitzrayim, when the Jews were in Mitzrayim, when Moshe Rabbeinu did all of his miracles, the Paro, he said, so this guy's Moshe, he's just a kishuf maker.
Right.
He wasn't impressed. I can do the same thing with my magicians. They can do the same thing. Okay, with Ferish Eitz Yosef, Kosov B'Shem Toelas Yaakov, Mishum Shekodem Shechot Adam Rishon, Hayakol Malbushoy Asui Mitzi Poren. Ukeshechota is Pashet Mimenu Velo Nishar Mimenu Rak Hatzi Ponayim the Katso said Spos. Akasha Isha Gorma Shenafshet Mimalbush Zeh Yesh Lochush Sheteanesh V'ma Shenemar Mihem. Oh boy. Okay, here's an interesting reason. Explaining what's the connection over here between a pregnant woman and nails. Why is the pregnant woman these nails over here are dangerous for her? So this is one of the commentators, Eitz Yosef, he brings another commentator called the Tolas Yaakov, who says as follows: we have Adam Arishon, and before Adam Arishon did the sin, he says, "Kol malbusho asoi mitziporen." He had some type of a covering of himself, which was made out of the same material as tziporen, as fingernails. Ukeshachata nispashet mimenu. When he did the sin, so his malbush of tziporen was removed. And there was just a trace of it left on his fingernails, on the ends of his fingers. We just find it over there. Because the woman was the one who caused Adam Arishon that he had this fallout, and that his malbush was taken off him. So therefore, yesh lachush. Therefore, there is a concern for a woman that she would suffer as a result of these nails today. I don't know how long ago this commentator was, Tolas Yaakov, but it's brought by the Eitz Yosef. The Eitz Yosef is like 100 years ago, I'd say 100, 150 years ago. So if we don't find it today, I never heard of an incident like that, but okay. In any case, that's one explanation of what the connection is. Oh, the Mishnah Berurah brings this din. Maybe we should take a look in the Mishnah Berurah.
What volume?
This is let's see, Reish Samach would be let's see. Reish Samach would be in Chelik Gimel.
Reish Samech.
Okay, it's Mishnah Berurah Reish Samach Sif Katan Vav.
Reish Samech Sif Katan Vav in the Mishnah Berurah. Okay, Katan Vav. Vav.
Okay, so we'll read the Shulchan Aruch. This is the beginning of Hilchos Shabbos over here. Reish Samach Dinei Haknosas Shabbos. The dinim when on Erev Shabbos as Shabbos is coming in. What are the dinim? So he mentions over here mitzvah lirchotz. It's a mitzvah to bathe oneself, kol gufo. And then he says, mitzvah lachofarosh, ulagaleya, hatzipornaim. It's also a mitzvah to cut the nails on Erev Shabbos.
Okay.
So
Is that your Chotz Panav?
Your Chotz Panav is yeah, I didn't read everything. The Iav Sharlo, and if it's not possible for him to wash his entire body, Your Chotz Panav Yoda Viraglo. He should at the very least, wash his face, his hands, and his feet. B'chamin, in hot water, the Erev Shabbos, on Erev Shabbos.
I see.
Mitzvah lachof arosh, and it's also a mitzvah to scrub the head. U'legaleach hatziponayim, the Erev Shabbos, and to cut his nails, groom his nails. Giluach, that's the name of our entry here in the Pele Yoetz. Giluach. Oh, here comes Roy. I hope he wasn't there a long time. Just happened to spot him. Okay, so now, having seen the Shulchan Aruch, we can now go to the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Vav, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bottom of the page in the Mishnah Berurah. right in the middle of that line, he's got a long comment over here on the Erev Shabbos. So let's see what he has to say over here. Ubeyom Chamishi, Makpidim Shalo Litlon. Mipnei Shatziponim, Matchilim Lachzor Litzmoach Beyom Shlishi, Ligiluchon. Wow. That's something that not everybody knows. It says over, what? You got it?
I was wondering if you could translate that, please.
Yeah, okay. I just want to welcome Roy.
Thank you.
We are we're in the middle of this discussion about the cutting of the nails, and the Gemara Nida about that the nails on the ground are a sakana to the woman who is expecting.
Right.
Okay. Okay, so but now right now we're in the Mishnah Berurah, Siman Reish Samach, Sif Katan Vav, and we're going to translate the first sentence of the Mishnah Berurah over here. He has a good few lines over here on this statement of the Shulchan Aruch that one should cut his nails on Erev Shabbos. Says the Mishnah Berurah, Ubeyom Chamishi, and in regard to cutting the nails on Yom Chamishi, on Thursday, Makpidin, Shalo Litlon. We are very, we're makpid, we're particular that they should not be cut on Yom Chamishi. They're supposed to be cut on Erev Shabbos. Why not on Yom Chamishi? This is an interesting reason. Mipnei, because Shahatzipornaim matchilim lachzor litzmoyach b'yom shlishi legiluchon. Because, says the Mishnah Berurah, the nails, after having been cut, begin their initial regrowth on the third day, since they had been groomed off. So if you cut your nails on Yom Chamishi, I guess we're going to count Yom Chamishi as day one, and then we got Yom Shishi as Erev Shabbos, and then we got Shabbos. So on Shabbos, they're going to start to grow. So it says the Mishnah Berurah, we don't, for that reason, we do not cut them on Yom Chamishi. Okay. Further, V'imkein ein zeh tikun kavod Shabbos shechozer lotzeis. And if this is part of the explanation, and this being so, that they would start to grow back on the third day of their grooming, which is on Shabbos. That's not the best covered Shabbos to have over there. That they're growing out on punkt on Shabbos. Okay, fine. Further, I'm not sure exactly where we. I think you might be getting into our subject right now. Okay, there's those who say don't cut both the nails of the hand and also of the feet on the same day. Ve'ein lakotz ela be'erev Shabbos or be'erev Yom Tov. And to not cut them except on Erev Shabbos or Erev Yom Tov. Vanochon, and the proper conduct would be shiakots mina raglaim b'yom chamishi. If you want to cut your, if you want to follow everything in the best way, cut the nails on your toes on Yom Chamishi. Umina yadayim b'yom shishi, and on the ones on your fingers on Yom Shishi, Erev Shabbos. So he says over there, Mem Aleph, that is the Magen Avram. Okay, Isa b'Gemara. Now he brings our Gemara. Now he's bringing our Gemara. Isa b'Gemara, Hasorev Sipornaim Chosid, someone who burns the nails after he grooms them, is considered a Chosid. Kovran, if he buries them, Tzadi, he is a righteous person. Bezorkon, if he just throws them wherever he wants to throw them, Russia. What is the reason that he is a Russia? Why do we call this person a Russia? Shema tavor alehen isha meuberes betapil. Because perhaps an expecting mother will pass over them and miscarry. Ulechein, and therefore, but based on midrash, below shkiche nashi, in regard to the base midrash, which is not a place that women are found over there. Oh, base merchatz, or in a bathhouse. She'asui rak l'chatzes hanashim lachud, which, by the way, is only for men. There's no section for the women anywhere. Mutter lizrok, then it would be permissible if you want to cut them over there and be zorik them over there. Says the Mishnah Berurah, you have my permission. The Gam Isa Sham b'Gemara, it's also brought in the Gemara, to ein b'koichan lahazik rak b'duchta d'nefile. He brings the exact language of the Gemara in Aramaic. In this same Gemara over there that we quoted, it says that they do not have the power to injure only in the exact place where they fell. Aval ikanish lahu basar haki v'shadei lahu lavroi leislan bo. If a person would gather them all up in the place where they fell, and he would throw them. Lavroi, he would throw them out. He would throw them out. I don't know exactly where out is. Leislan bo, there would be no concern. Kosav Aprisha Siman Reish Mem Aleph. Mikan de'im chosach bebeso b'makom deshkiche nashi. Says the Prisha, one of the main commentators in the tour, in the Sefer Arbaturim. He says that from here we can derive that if somebody cuts off his nails in his house, which is a place where women are commonly found, and a small portion, a little bit of the siporno fall from his hand over there. Ichabedoso hamakom bizizen mimakomam neshuv leislen bo. He needn't worry. He should just make sure to clean the place and remove them from the place where they fell, and accordingly, there wouldn't be no problem at that point. The Elia Rabba Kosov, Elia Rabba is one of the major poskim over here in the Orach Chaim, about 250 or more years ago. Elia Rabba Kosov, the Efshar, the Dafka, Kasha Hishlichon Chutz Lecheder Have Shinui Makom. He ventures to say, what's it called that he changes the place of the nails after they fell down on the ground? Perhaps it's possible that it's specifically in the case where he casts them outside the room that they fell, that would be considered now, oh, they're not in the same place anymore. But just to sweep them over to some other place and change their location in the same room, he says, I don't know. I don't give any guarantees that's safe. I would not do that, he says. That's the implication. V'yesh li tol hayodayim achay giluach etzipornayim could le'el simin dalet. Oh, I didn't know what he mean over here. We should, he says, and like the Pele Yoetz pointed out, the Mishnah Berurah also points out that after you cut your nails, you have to make sure that you wash your hands just like you do in the morning, the sirugin, alternatively, as opposed to the way you wash for a suda. A lot of times the grandchildren, they don't seem to know the difference between how you wash in the morning and how you wash at the suda. They do it all this like they do in the morning.
I'm not aware of the difference either. What's the difference?
Okay, so there's a different way to wash your hands in the morning that you wash your hands during the suda, before the suda. What's the difference? In the morning, you wash basirugin. You're washing your hands alternatively. What does that mean? That means you take the cup in your right hand, you transfer it over to the left hand. There's Kabbalah behind this, I'm sure. And then you're supposed to pour from the left hand onto the right hand. That's your first pouring. And then you just continue. Then you go to the left hand, then you go to the right hand, then the left hand for the third time, and then to the right hand for the third time. That's how you do it in the morning.
Okay.
And that is also how you do it, says the Mishnah Berurah, when you cut your nails. Because the Indian over here is an Indian of, it's an Indian of Tuma. Now,
Okay.
what do you do before a Suda? What do you do before a Suda? We're not concerned really that you have Tuma, the same level of Tuma on your hands that you have when you wake up in the morning. So therefore we don't do the same Natila before the Suda that we do in the morning. What do? Also, you take it in your right hand, transfer it to the left hand, whatever that's supposed to mean, but that's the way the halacha is brought, that you do it. And now, because you start with the right hand, you want to start with the right hand. That's the simple reason. You want to start everything with the right hand. And then you go to the left hand, put it in your left hand, and then you go like this. One splash, and then you go 2 splashes. That takes care of the right hand. And then you take the rest of the what's left in the kli, and you take it in your right hand, and then you splash it twice on the left hand.
So in other words, you
Make
don't
sure-
alternate.
So what?
In other words, you don't alternate hands. You do one
Right.
hand and then the other hand.
Right.
Two washings of one hand and then two washings of the other hand.
Right.
Why
Yeah.
2 and not 3?
Yeah, because if you take a look in the halacha, even when we wash 3 times, it's a bit of a chumrah. We basically we assume that the water has gotten everywhere that it's supposed to get after 2 times, and the right amount is gotten there after 2 times. But we do 3 times because I believe there's some that hold that you need to have that they hold that it should be 3 times. Incidentally, once we're talking about times, the Vilna Gaon was accustomed to go 4 times in the morning on each hand.
What about before davening?
Oh, that's a very good question. Contrary to what people think, even if your hands are totally clean and you have no reason to assume that they're not, unlike before a Suda, you weren't really watching or noticing to see maybe your hands touched, some place that's generally covered on your skin, or you scratched your hair or whatever it would be, and all those things are things that you wash your hands for, to keep them totally tahor. But even before davening, it's not simply a matter of your hands are unclean, which they might be, and that would be a reason unto itself to wash them. But we wash them because it's a preparation for tefillah. So therefore, even if you know that you washed your hands, 5 minutes ago, but you didn't really wash it for the purpose of preparing for tefillah, you would wash them with the intention that I'm doing this washing to prepare for tefillah, and that washing, yeah.
So,
And you would do that not only for chakri.
Do you do it
You
3
do-
times alternatively or
Oh.
2 times?
That's a good question.
Well, I've seen people in the Kollel here do it twice on each hand.
They used to have when we used to learn in the Ramema, right by the, I don't know if you realize this, but there was something in Hebrew above the washing faucet over there outside of the shear room that I think Rabbi Moore put over there, and there was a little sign that said that you have a mitzvah to wash your hands before every tefillah, even if you know your hands are completely clean, quoting the Mishnah Berurah. But what the simon, we would have to take a look in the Mishnah Berurah on that one to know exactly what the obligation is. I don't think it's as stringent as it is in the morning, because as we say, we're not really doing it for purposes of tuma, but I would suspect that there are those who the Mishnah Berurah does bring over there that there are opinions who say that even before davening it should be bisirugin alternatively with 3 times. But I think that it's there's others who say that it's not necessary.
So the reason you wash your hands after you cut your nails is because of tuma?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the he mentioned in passing a few of these things here, the Pele Yoetz, with the removal of the hair, the removal of the nails.
As a side point, when the Kohanim wash their hands before duchening,
Yes.
is that 3 times, 2 times, what?
You know what? I should know this because I'm the one that washes their hands. They're not makpid. The only thing that they're makpid on is I do it fast so they can get up to the get up in front of the Aron Kodesh. Because
No,
the ones that I know over here, they take all the way until the end of until the last moment, and they run over there and they say, "Give me the water," and they want to get over there.
the reason I asked the question is on Yontif, I daven in a minyan that occasionally has Kohanim and rarely has Leviim in it. And when there are Kohanim and no Leviim, the Bachrim wash the hands of the Kohanim.
Yes, right. It's
So
reported that Reb Chaim Kanievsky was very he welcomed the opportunity to be able to wash the Kohanim's hands if there was
Right.
no Levi that was there.
Because I'm a Bacher, my oldest son's a Bacher, my grandson's a Bacher.
Yeah, yeah, very nice that they do that. Very good. Oftentimes, you even if there are Levim, you oftentimes only find their children doing it because the children like to do it, and the parents don't like to bother with it. But
Oh.
really, it's a mitzvah. It's a mitzvah that a Levi has, that the
Yeah.
Kohen should not wash his hands, but somebody else should wash his hands.
For
And
sure.
Levi is the one who's designated to do this. It's his job. Okay. Um, I mean, Pele Yoetz himself, when he was talking about cutting the nails, it's he said that he said that according to the secret matters, the nails are also related to the aspect of strict justice. And a man should be very careful not to let his fingernails or toenails grow too long.
Where are you reading?
This is on page 152, the last paragraph, 2, 4, 6, 7 lines down from the top of the bottom paragraph, the end of the line. How does he put it in the Hebrew over here? Probably not too much different. Ulefi Sodan, Shel Devorim. Yeah. So these are matters that are relegated to the area of sod. This is why I wanted to point this out over here, that there's things that are called sodos haTorah, and they are things that those that know revealed to us. Pele Yoetz told us over here. He doesn't explain exactly what's behind all of it, but he just says it's what they call al pi sod, according to sod. That's what it is as far as the nails on the nails are concerned.
Sod meaning secret in this context?
Yeah, sod is a secret. So in other words, we know that in regard to the Torah, we have basically two categories of Torah. We have what we call Torah Sanigla, the revealed Torah, and we have Torah Sanister, the secrets, unrevealed matters of the Torah. And most everything that we learn from that's not really 100% either, because we know, of course, that there are portions of the Torah Sanigla, Pasuk and Chumash, like Eliezer said, Shatnez. That to understand why, and the Gemara itself calls Shatnez a chok, a type of a mitzvah that the reasons for the mitzvah are not what's called a chok. A chok is something that the reason for the mitzvah is something that we would not have thought to institute such a mitzvah. We would have thought to institute such a mitzvah as don't do adultery, don't kill, don't steal. These are mitzvahs that they're not chukim. We could figure out to do those things on our own without the Torah having told us. But there are some mitzvahs that we would not have any idea what to do those mitzvahs at all, except for the fact that the Torah revealed itself to them, revealed them to us. And even though they are part of the Torah's nigla, it's a mitzvah, midaraisa, and we come in contact with it every day. Make sure that we don't violate the prohibition of shatnez. But the reason why we're very careful not to violate the issur of shatnez is not something that we would we might be able, if we read in this sefer or that sefer something behind the sodos of the reason, the secrets, from the secrets of the Torah, what it is, what's the inyan, what's the deal with shatnez. So it's something that perhaps we could understand. It would make it more understandable to us. True, even though we would not necessarily have thought to make such a prohibition on ourselves without having been told that. But over here, so we did see that there is something to the nails with goes all the way back to the Chet of Adam Rishon.
Yeah, although I didn't understand that section.
Yeah, it's not
He's
something
covered
that
by nails all over his body, and then they all drop off except the ones on his fingers. Is that what it said?
yeah.
And somehow that has to do with childbirth, because the woman was the one that instigated the sin in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, well, so this is the, it's something, these are things that are secrets that we'd have to study them in greater depth and be more informed about the whole matter that's involved. Even what we were told, right, was just a few words. Just for example, say let's take the example of the Gemara that we're learning right now, right? Paris kinyan ha Paris kinyan aguf dummy. So if somebody would tell you what kinyan ha Paris kinyan aguf dummy means in 10 words, right? Rashi uses 10 words to tell us. Let's say he doesn't actually explain it here by us at all, but let's say he explains it over in Bava Basra. It would not be understandable to us. We would have to really work very hard to try to understand what Rashi means, maybe pull out another sefer and another sefer and see how he explains it in a different place and do a whole research about the matter. So, these are deep matters. These are deep matters. And what I want that we should come away with is that even though we don't understand it fully, but we see that there's something over here. We see that there's something over here, that there is a relationship over here between a woman who is and the nails, and that there's something to it, and it's something that we have not delved into, that we're not familiar with. But it definitely is something that we it's not simply it's not nonsense. Not nonsense. It's not superstition. These are things that have to do with the go to the core of the secrets of the history of the world. And it's been revealed to us. It's been revealed to us that this is something that we should that we should fulfill. And it's even the Mishnah Berurah didn't even blink an eye. He just said that's what the din is. He didn't even bother to try to explain it because it's not his place over here in the Mishnah Berurah to explain the idea, what's behind it. Maybe somewhere else he does, but it's not the place in the Mishnah Berurah. It's just but we see at any rate that the Mishnah Berurah understands that it is a halacha that applies today, and it's something that a person should be careful about. Okay.
Right, so,
Oh, it's way past the
39,
time.
right.
Alan, you didn't tell us.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Okay, Yashikoyach.
10 minutes?
Yeah. Oh, so when are we going to meet now? 10 minutes? Okay. Lee Netter.
11:50.
Yeah.
Still doing